Australia went into 2023 wary of the R word.
Recession.
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 Turns out a different word defined most of the year.
Remarkably resilient.
A test about how resilient Australia's economy can be.
Part of that has been the resilience of consumers.
Interest rate rises and the cost crunch continued.
People are under pressure from the rising cost of living and higher interest rates as well.
Our economy exceeded expectations right up until the end of the year, when GDP data revealed living standards are going backwards and our economy would be in recession if it weren't for surging migration.
People are getting squeezed by high inflation, a rising tax take and increasingly higher interest rates.
2023 started with an official interest rate of 3.1%. 5 hikes later, it ends the year at 4.35%. Despite rising borrowing costs, national home values soared.
House prices on track to hit a new record high.
Closing out the year 7% higher.
That's been the biggest surprise for me in 2023, just how remarkably strong the household sector. The easiest way to see that is quite simply house prices.
And it is sold here. Congratulations.
Rents are also at record highs.
Mr Lowe's 7-year term, which ends in days, has been marked by several firsts, including an all-time low for rates and a record run of raising rates.
The pressure on Philip Lowe mounted in his final months as RBA governor, before new boss Michele Bullock quickly put her stamp on the role.
The board must therefore set its policy to serve the welfare of Australians collectively.
The speeches and some of the Q&A discussion that has occurred at these speeches has, in my view, been a lot more hawkish than what I was anticipating.
We went into 2023 with inflation at its peak. While it's come down, it's still well above the RBA's target band.
Now the slow grind is because, well, the bit of inflation that's still too elevated is services inflation. It's rents and electricity, and services are a large part of the input there is workers and therefore wages.
Migration surpassed expectations as more than 500,000 more people called Australia home.
Because we have such strong population growth, the total economy is actually growing and people are keeping jobs and getting jobs. But it obviously does feel like a real squeeze for many people who are struggling with higher cost of living.
Our jobless rate hovered around 3.5% for most of the year.
We're still generating enough trend employment to stop the unemployment rate from rising. Now that has to change. I think it will change in early 2024, but certainly not right away.
China has reopened its borders in time for Lunar New Year.
Icy relations with our biggest trading partner are thawing as bans on some Australian exports were lifted.
Common sense has prevailed and we welcome China to keep on buying our products.
There's still plenty of demand for our iron ore, there's still plenty of demand for our agriculture, and that's ultimately what matters for the Australian economy, is that demand for our commodities.
It's been 1 year since Russia invaded Ukraine.
War continued to rage in Eastern Europe through 2023. And on October 7, rockets struck Israel.
All of those things are going to play out over the course of many years in ways that are often going to be hard to predict.
Global issues will continue to impact our economy in 2024.
We've got elections across the democratic world and very important ones.
As the resilience that saw us through 2023 weakens in 2024, confidence will slip further and consumers and businesses will spend less.
The unemployment rate will be probably close to 4.5% and the growth story will be softer.
The signs couldn't be clearer. Our economy is cooling, so
I think we should be expecting rate cuts.
And they could come sooner than we think, as recession fears loom once again.